This is a 1987 Monte Carlo SS. There's no engine or transmission in it. Flex plate is wrong. Well, the flex plate was wrong for this transmission. It's a, I think it takes 3 holes in that flex plate. This torque converter has 6 holes for bolts. I think it sticks out too far. They make a flex plate that sets back farther. The goal is still to put this on there. This 4L80 is heavy for some reason. Now we gotta find bolts. And another issue I've had is it's been so long between doing stuff, I don't know where any of the hardware is. I couldn't find any OG hardware, but I did have bolts in my bin. A little bit of messing around there. There's always some variables, and I knew that flex plate might not be the right one, but I was hoping it was. Well, you can see right here, that engine had a 1, see where the washers were, 2, 3. The torque converter that was on here only had 3 bolt holes. Even though there's extra holes, there's not any holes in the right position to accept that torque converter that was on there with 6 bolt holes. You can also see from right here where it mounts on the crank, it actually protrudes out this way. So if you're looking at it like this, it's so slight on this one, but it goes from here, tapers in, which causes the flex plate to stick out just a little bit. And that's enough to keep the transmission from going all the way up to the block, to the mating surface. I get to go fire up the old tilt bed and see if we can get that Monte Carlo on there without too much of a production. All right, here's a Ford F700 I was talking about. This truck actually locks. There we go. This is a 1994 Ford F700. There's no rust on this unit. I cannot believe it. Valve 5.9 Cummins in this truck. Being from Florida, it doesn't have a air heater grid on it, so she's a little grumpy when it comes to starting. It's not too bad today because it's, I don't know, like 45 degrees, but falling. Here's the Monte Carlo. that engine and transmission is going in. Nice this car's in here like that, and I can pull it on backwards. That way when I back it into the garage over there, you know, I don't have to try to spin it around or something. I can just back right in and drop it off. I'm getting almost to the end of the winch there. I might have to rehook it.
This is the first time I've ever picked anything up with this thing. I ran it out, tipped it one day, empty. First time I put a car on it.
That worked. I was a little close when I started to drop it, but you know, end result's the same. This is a 1987 Monte Carlo SS. There's no engine or transmission in it. There wasn't when I bought it. These are my LS to GBODY motor mounts. You can just find these anywhere on the internet. These ones came from Jags, I think, and they will give you cancer. They come with new lower clamshells that mount directly on the G-body, and they go where they were. The directions tell you where they go in a picture that you can barely see, but make sure the top holes are farther apart than the bottom holes. These, you just bolt them straight to the block, you're ready to go. I shouldn't be out here. Basically, I should be in the house, laying on the couch. But I do have to take the original. Man, I sure wish my battery light was charged up here. I gotta take these original engine side mounts off before I can mount these, clearly. Take the hood off. Putting that engine side engine mount up on here, it lines up good, but the ground cable that goes to the battery was bolted right there. It was actually in the way. It was holding the bottom of the bracket off of the mating surface, so we gotta take that out. Not a big deal, but it's one of those things almost overlooked.
The direction says put the offset, now this is offset towards the front. So this part goes towards the front of the end.
This air conditioning bracket as a whole is in the way. Like, big time, actually. Okay, it didn't take long to figure something out. So I got an old strap that was used to hold a piece of some big steel onto a flatbed in a bundle. Looped it around that K-member, hooked it on my ratchet strap, hooked it to the Chevy, cranking on that. I got some tension on that strap. Try to push on this now. See if I can get it to pull forward. clearance there. I can try to push it back a couple more inches. Then I think I can let it down. Going down. Let's go down and back a little more. Where's my bucket? Leaking. That's all right. We'll let her drain like that till it quits draining. We only got that little bit of space before we run out of room to go forward. But I think at that point we should be pretty close to down where we need to be. Look at this prick. He wants to dye his hair red, I bet. Crawl around in that transmission fluid. My relationship with them little gray cats is like a love-hate. Like, they love me and I hate them. They're just irritating is all. They're always up in my face because they want cuddles. Boy, just cleared the core support here. I knew I was going to have this problem. This exhaust manifold with this little bit of a tail from the Y pipe is definitely going to be in the way of getting this down in there. We got some more clearance in the tunnel, so I'm going to try to push the car forward again up against the tunnel. Go down about 4 inches, and then this exhaust pipe is going to be hitting over here. That's what we're looking at. Just right up against the ram for the cherry picker. Just got it past the steering shaft there, but we're kind of hung up here. This little guy holding us up. So we got all kinds of room back here to go back, but because of this, we can't get the front down, and the oil pan is right on the crossmember. Okay, I wasn't getting anywhere. This steering shaft was just, I was past the steering shaft, but I was like underneath of it, and I was wedged underneath of it and above the control arm. Right here. This bolt is getting hooked on that, and the steering shaft was running right in here, so it was forcing it there. It couldn't go past it at all. So if you're gonna do these GBODY swaps, just, you know, I'm doing this blind, so if I can help you out, take the manifolds off. I know what you're gonna say. Get the mount. Take the intake off. Buying that plate and taking that intake off is the most logical thing to do. I don't want to. Let's pick it up really high and just drop her. There. Okay, so we're past the K member. The oil pan is back near its home. So this has to get right there. I'll see if I can show you what's going on underneath. That jack, it's got some pressure on it. That's where the mount on the transmission. It's just gonna be probably back just a little bit, but it all looks like it's gonna be doable anyways. And I got tension on the motor, so we can let that down, see what happens. Where we're at right now is that's about a 1/2 inch from being where it wants to be for home. This side is not that far out. We got clearance on the back. That one's just a tickle too far back. This piece needs to drop down on here. I'm gonna call that a win for right now. I'm going to get this cherry picker back in its hole over there by the wall. Pull this back far enough that I'm not over top of any of this transmission fluid. And I'm gonna get the torch out and get them bolt heads cut off. I'll have to put the hood on and see if it closes. I don't really care if it closes or not, because it'll look really cool with a cowl on there. These Monte Carlos with a cowl hood. Oh yeah.
Did you see the engine move? There's the studs sticking out of the head after I cut the heads off the bolts. Hopefully that's enough to weld a nut on and try to get those out. They weren't coming out. I tried. They stripped the heads off.
I'm pretty sure the oil pan is sitting on the cross member underneath there, and the deep part of the oil pan is not very far from the ground. So I'm assuming with this swap, I'm hoping somebody makes a lower oil pan or something that has the same capacity as what's required in there, because I know right now this thing's going to be a drag race car, and it's surely going to pull the front wheels off the ground, so it's probably going to wind up smashing the oil pan into the ground. This is a good test fit on this engine. I know it's going to fit. Probably have to do something with the oil pan. This is going to come out again once we really tear into this thing. This project is back on hold, and it's gonna go back out in the yard so we can get this in driving form anyways. Thanks for watching. See you next time.